Okay, so it is currently what? 5:20 a.m. and Konami decided to drop a brand new Forbidden Limited list into Duel Links and some new skill rebalancing, and it sucks. Like, it's the worst one we've had in a very long time. I don't feel like it addresses anything wrong with the current meta. There's not really too much wrong with it already, but it kind of goes out of its way to preemptively hit some cards and slow down some decks that I don't think have been too much of a problem for a while. But I'll talk over them. As you can see on the layout, we've got Paleozoic Canadia up there in the top left, which basically means that this boy, he managed to survive the list, and that's like the one thing that I'm kind of most disappointed about, is that he managed to survive, and everything else got hit. But we've got the old or the current list. The list is going to be available for the next couple of days, still up, or it's available for quite a while actually, up on the left, so we can kind of compare and see what decks could be hit. But we have a KC Cup coming beginning of February, so that's pretty cool. So get your gems, your SR tickets, whatever. But let's go for the Forbidden Limited list first, because that's what most people are kind of here to talk about. So let me know your thoughts on these in the comments down below. Let's go in, do this first, then we'll do the skill balancing afterwards, because the skills I think are pretty decent for what they've been doing with them. So, January 24th, semi-limited, Spellbook of Fate and Silent Sword Slash. So, Silent Sword Slash I totally agree with. I think this is a good move, especially considering that the structure deck is coming out on the 12th, I think it is, so in a couple of days. And really, this has always been like a problem card. Whenever you just like see a Silent Swordsman player show up in your duel, you kind of know that you are getting OTK'd, and it isn't a fun deck to play against. So since we are getting a pretty powerful, like also we're getting the generic Silent Swordsman, not like the level 4 one, which getting like the generic Silent Swordsman, that's going to make Sword Slash even more powerful. So I'm glad they're hitting it, despite the fact they are putting it in the deck, which means if you buy 3 of them, then you're getting a card you can't use, which to me doesn't make too much sense. Like, maybe this was a last minute thing or not, I don't know what they're doing here. But Silent Sword Slash is going to 2. I have like, apparently I have 0. Oh, okay, no, I'm on a different account, that's why. I'm on a different account, on my spare account. But okay, so Slash going to 2, that I think's fine. I think that's a good thing. But Spellbook of Fate. Now, obviously, this is the most powerful card, or one of the most powerful cards that Spellbook players have at their disposal, being able to, most of the time, just like banish a card you control. Like that's the one they really go for, or like changing battle position. I think that, given we're getting Necro Valley in the selection box, I think Spellbooks are already kind of hit in a way, but it's weird, because like I would have liked this to be hit ages ago. Like I think this should have been gone to 2 a very long time ago, but right now I don't think it's doing much, considering the Spellbooks aren't sin too much on the ladder. Like, there's still a decent control deck, but there's a lot better. Like the Banished control deck I think is a lot more viable in today's metagame rather than Spellbooks, especially with, Necro Valley coming, as I said, that won't like radically change the meta, but still could have a little bit of impact. But this now means that if we look at the Forbidden Limited list, what else is at 2? There's Econ and Treacherous, which I believe Spellbook players play Treacherous. I think that's one of the decks that really benefits from having no cards on the Forbidden Limited list, and now that Spellbook of Fate shares the same slot as Treacherous, that means that at least that deck, you don't really have to worry now about them opening with Treacherous, because they will want to play Fate over Treacherous. Like, there's no way they're going to not play their biggest removal card at 2, or at the maximum amount, and they're going to play Treacherous. I don't think you'll see players do that, so I guess that's a good thing. That's probably like the highlight of this, is that Treacherous now like gets out of more decks, which is great, but still not, I don't know, I feel a bit weird. I don't think this ban list is that great. And the next card, the only one that's not on the list, I think it's like one of the first times we had a card that actually left the list, is Amazon's Baby Tiger. Removed from the list because Amazon's Onslaught and Princess are both on the Forbidden Limited list, preventing this card from being summoned numerous times. Yeah. So now Amazons now get like a little bit of their playability back, because now you don't have to decide whether to run Princess or this, you can run Princess and this. So Amazons get a bit more power back, but not enough to actually make them any more playable than they were before, I don't think. I think there's still going to be a deck that you see like 2% of the time. I don't think I've played against one in a very long time, so for me this really doesn't make any difference. And again, just like Konami not addressing some of the cards that needed to be addressing. Like I think Canadian needs addressing. I think that the fact it wasn't in the upcoming selection box, I think that was a sign that it could have been hit, but obviously it's not been hit, which is a shame, but just means I'm going to have to use my Dream UR ticket if we get one on the 3rd Canadian now. But that's literally all of the stuff for the Forbidden Limited list. A very small list, something that doesn't address vampires, doesn't address Quackimeras, even though they probably won't do for a while. That's not great. Now let's actually talk about some positive things. Skill rebalancing coming on the 24th as well. This is good. So what they're doing is they're strengthening a lot of skills, and they're not like hitting balance anymore, which I thought they would do. They're not hitting the Arcana skill to start with a Cosmo Brain in hand. I thought they'd kind of nerf that a bit to make it so it's like searching for Dark Magician rather than Cosmo Brain, but whatever. So what they're doing is they're basically making all of these skills that required an 1800 point deficit to now require 1000, so it makes them infinitely more playable. It now means you can get them off like 3 times in a duel at least, compared to like maybe once or twice. And to me, this like really helps things out, like Harpies, Fly the Harpies. That's going to greatly improve that deck. I think another good one is Kybercorp Bling, which obviously is the one that searches out for a random glossy or prismatic card. So if you can like engineer your deck to make it so that only certain cards, your key cards you want to see, are glossy and prismatic, then that could be a nice little metagame play you could do, and actually try and build a deck around that and just open up and try and get into the cards you need quicker. Like that could be kind of cool. I haven't seen people play like Bring It or Buzz On or Check Out My Ride in a very long time, so I don't think that's going to be much help. Cyberdark style getting hit or getting nerfed or buffed, not nerfed. Wow, okay, it's way too early. Cyberdark style getting buffed, so now it's a lot better. Still, no one's going to play it, but it's better than it was. And then Harpy's Last Will and Miracle Fusion Time both got updated as well. Can be used for Harpy's Last Will, at least. Can be used if you have 4 more Harpy cards in your graveyard. Add 1 Harpy's Feather Dust to your hand outside of the deck. I believe it used to say 5, so it's like either 5 or 6. So it's been greatly improved. Still, it's still like a decent cost for such a powerful card to be added to your hand, but I don't know. That might be interesting to play around with actually, because I think it's quite easy for Harpies to get like in the grave. So that might be quite a nice skill to play with. And then we have Miracle Fusion Time. Obviously, we just got Miracle Fusion as an actual card. Can be used for your life points that are 2000 or below. Instead of your normal draw, add Miracle Fusion for your deck to. I don't know what that skill was originally. Let's have a look. Let's go and have a look and see what Miracle Fusion Time was originally. I believe it was like 3000. This account is so new. So we'll go to filter by where is he? Jaden. There he is. Miracle Fusion Time. What was that before? It was 1000 or below. So it is making it so it's 2000. So it's much easier to get to. I guess that's good for people that didn't pick up Miracle Fusion from the box, but there's so many better skills than you really do want like 3 Miracle Fusion. So I guess if you picked up 2, then this isn't so bad, but still not the best like update in the world. And let's just quickly check out Maya as well and see what Harpy's Last Will did. Flat Harpies, there we go. Nope, that one. Yeah, it was 5 before. Okay, so taking it down to 4 improves consistency. I guess that's a good thing. Again, like the skill changes are cool, but apart from that, they're not all that impressive. And I think that's the biggest thing, is that this Forbidden list and the skill rebalancing list just wasn't as big as it should have been. Like we heard on Twitter about this, that it was coming, like with the second anniversary or whatever, and they said about, you know, they're going to be doing feature rebalancing and stuff, whatever, and I thought, okay, maybe New Balance is going to come in and shake things up, but this just isn't going to do it. You're still going to see the same cancerous decks on the rank ladder, so not much has changed. I guess you'll see some more experimentation with these skills, but still people are going to opt for using Balance, Sealed Tombs, you know, again, the Arcana skill, I can't remember what other skills you have, Restart. People are still going to go for the more generic skills, but that Kyber Corp Blink skill, I think, is like the best one there that got buffed. I think that one is going to prove to be incredibly fun if people can build a deck around that and take advantage of their luck in pulling cards. So let me know your thoughts, as always, on these skills and Forbidden Limited list. I'm pretty sure that this is below 10 minutes, so enjoy the lack of ads on this video. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next Duel Links video. See you then.